the high-producing Frisian breed.
All united by the common desire to find a lasting solution to the 19 core issues raised by our healthcare professionals. Ladies and gentlemen, the Kenya Kwanza administration is strongly committed to finding a swift and sustainable solution to the current impasse. I say so because you all understand the fiscal environment under which we are operating. I therefore encourage all parties and stakeholders to work together in good faith to address the underlying issues and to restore normalcy to our health sector. Every person in this room holds part of the key to the solution Kenyans so urgently require. Each ministry, state department, agency, organization, tie of government, and stakeholder present today must step up and play their rightful and necessary role in facilitating an expedited resolution of the dispute at hand. We must not take for granted the place we have earned at this table of dialogue. Let history take into record that you are part of the team that gave a sense of permanency to ideas and solutions that will resolve this perennial dispute. The challenge of our time is to break from the mold and forge a new path. We must develop long-term strategies that shall prevent the occurrence of similar crisis situations in the future. We will certainly need to review the current legal, operational, and policy frameworks, improve communication channels, enhance healthcare infrastructure, and improve working conditions and create a better labor relations landscape in the health sector, among other progressive sectoral reforms. Ladies and gentlemen, we all have an individual, institutional, and collective responsibility to climb down from any hardline positions for the benefit of Kenyans. We must prioritize the overriding public interest and ensure access to quality health care for all. The solutions we seek to agree upon ought to be given realistic time to implement given today's national and global financial landscape. To do so, we must actively act swiftly, decisively, and be guided by patriotism and civic duty to ensure that this is the last industrial action that Kenya will witness in the health sector. I beg to conclude my remarks by assuring each of you of the government's commitment to this process. That the head of state and government has expressed his desire for an expedited and comprehensive solution of the current dispute. By example, His Excellency the President has demonstrated that there are more positive outcomes that can be achieved through dialogue. There has been dialogue between the executive and judiciary, all in the spirit of ensuring the government works in synergy to deliver to the people of Kenya. The two leading political coalition parties have also upheld dialogue as a means of unlocking impasses that have threatened to divide the country further. Embracing dialogue is an indication of good faith by disputing parties. My presence here today demonstrates a willingness to listen to each other. Kenyans out there are expecting us to thrash out our points of conflict and step out with lasting solutions. My office and I will be at hand to facilitate the process that has begun today. In our various offices and capacities, let us be genuine custodians of this process. In keeping with the teachings of St. Francis of Assisi, where there is some misunderstanding, let us endeavor to inject understanding. I once again acknowledge your sacrifice, and I thank all for your attendance and participation in this dialogue process. Let today be the day that historians shall record as the start of the end of labor instability in Kenya's health sector. Ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, permit me now to invite the chairperson of Conciliation Committee to give us brief highlights of the progress made so far and the path forward in the solution of this dispute. Asanteni sana. May God bless you all and may God guide our deliberations. Karibu.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I want to greet you all and then say all protocols followed. Let us continue. And my Lord today is to highlight what has been reported and the positions. I want us to note that the union reported or directed their issues to court. And those issues that were directed to the court were 19. As a result of that, a conciliation committee was appointed by the Cabinet Secretary of Labor, and I was appointed to be the chairman of that conciliation committee. The members of that conciliation committee are Mr. Okwaro from Kotu, who is also the Deputy General Secretary of Kotu, Mr. Mudanga from FKE, and then our Secretary, Vincent Muri, who is the Chief Industrial Relations Officer. Before I go to those 18, I must say we have had 3 meetings, and all the meetings have been very successful. Particularly, the meeting of yesterday, the meeting of today was very good because we were telling them, or we were showing them the way to follow so that this matter is brought to a good end. So, what are the issues? What are the 19 issues that has been reported to court by the union against the employer? For the Conciliation Committee, me, the government, is the employer, and the union. So when I say about the employer, it is the government. Now, there were 18 issues, and the first issue was failure to provide comprehensive medical insurance cover to the union members. I have been advised by the Minister of Health that this issue is under consideration and that the other stakeholders will be meeting to find out what they have done and what they have not done and how that issue should be sorted out. Number 2, perennial grade posting and payment and general mismanagement of the internship program. This is an issue, a very hot issue about the interns, and this issue, we have said, we are looking into it, but because it involves money, we have thought it necessary to come and, on behalf of the parties, to say that this is a money issue, and the Treasury and the office of the President must take cognizance that it is money involved here, and we can only talk when we know what to do with this issue. Number 3, failure to employ doctors in compliance with the set staff norms and standards for healthy workers. Who are those doctors? Where? Which councils have not employed? We have asked the parties concerned to give us full details of the doctors not fully employed and not properly paid, so that we will be able to advise on the way forward. Number 4, failure to provide a training budget for eligible postgraduate medical officers from 2018 Kahoot. What has been the problem? This is a matter, once again, to the Treasury and also Office of the President. It has got to do with finance. If the finance is there, then this failure would not have arisen. So what has been the problem, and how do you help us as conciliators to overcome this problem? Number 5, failure by counties. And I want to repeat again, this is counties. Failure by counties to release doctors eligible for postgraduate and where released general mismanagement by the counties in failing to remit allowances and conducting disciplinary processes against released medical officers, including compulsory headcounts and termination, which are the counties that are doing this. Who are these doctors that have been victimized? That information is required by the Conciliation Committee so that we can advise and find out the way forward. Number 6, failure to promote eligible doctors by the counties as well as the Ministry of Health. Who has not been promoted? What is the reason for not promoting? Is it because of absenteeism? Is it because of performance? Or is it because of lack of commitment? Or what could be the reason why these doctors have not been promoted? And which counties are these? And therefore, in order to help us to conciliate and advise on the way forward. 7, recurrent salary delays and failure to limit statutory deductions and repayment of loans. This is an offense. Recurrent salary delays. You have worked and your salary has been delayed. What has been the problem? We want to know from the people concerned what has been the problem. And failure to limit statutory deductions. You have deducted NSSF. You have deducted the National Hospital Insurance Fund, Levy Fund. Why haven't you limited this to the statutory body? And who is doing this? What could be the reason for not limiting this? And this failure to limit is a criminal offense, and therefore we want to know who is doing this and what are the reasons so that we can advise. So some of those things are on legal matters. Number 8, failure to provide house mortgage and car loan by the counties. If this clause that you provide mortgage, you provide car loans, it is in the CBA, signed and registered by the Industrial Court. What is the problem? Why haven't they been provided with the loans to buy cars? Why haven't they been provided with the loans for house mortgage? And which counties and also the ministry to give us information so that we know how to go about it. Number 9, failure to negotiate new CBA. Yes, have the parties listen. Failure to negotiate new CBA. That suggests that the parties have submitted their proposals. Their proposals are sitting somewhere, and that parties are not negotiating. Why? Who are these parties? We want to be provided with the information so that we know if it is Kakamega County, you have got the proposals. Why? What could be the problem? And how can we assist you? We have been informed that some of the ministry at the head office has received the proposals, they are negotiating, and that the meetings have been arranged. And as a conciliation committee, we would encourage those who have who have received the party submission, the negotiating committees in the counties should sit down and negotiate and conclude this CBA, and this issue is over. If there's a problem, then you can come and see the negotiating committee to assist you do this. Perhaps some people do not even know how to draw proposals. If there are people, or if there are counties, or if there is anyone who is not aware, doesn't know how to draw proposals for negotiations, then we are ready to assist. Number 10, failure by, I'm waiting for this side meeting here. Failure by Kenyatta National Hospital and SRC to complete negotiations of 2021-2025 collective bargaining agreement between Kenyatta National Hospital and the union. Why? Failure to conclude, failure by Kenyatta and SRC to complete negotiations. What has been the problem? Proposals are there, everything is there, but you are unable to complete the CBA. We want to know who is causing the problem, who is refusing to negotiate. SRC has been dragged into this matter. And SRC's, if I may, all I know, their law is advisory. Their law is advisory. If the law of SRC is advisory, then Kenyatta National Hospital and the union should be telling us it is SRC that is drained, so that we will know how to deal with SRC. But for now, kindly SRC, if you have not advised Kenyatta National Hospital, move very quickly, advise them how to go about it, so that they agree or disagree, so that this matter is out of their hands and it is in court. I would not like to hear SRC being dragged into an employment issue like this, because theirs is only advisory, to say you are capable or you are not capable, don't do this and don't do that. Once they tell the employer that, the employer will come and say, this is the position. They will not say it, most of the time they will not say it is SRC. They will say, we cannot move further than this, we cannot further, then what is the position? Parties have disagreed. Certificate of disagreement. Let us go to the industrial court. Number 11. SRC failure to issue a letter of no objection allowing immediate registration of CBA dated 14th November 2022 between Moi Teaching Referral Hospital, SRC. Why are you holding this letter of objection? Yes or no? And now you can see you are dragged into a world that is not familiar to you. So all what we are saying, the SRC to state their position, whether the CBA negotiated this, they agree with it, and why, so that this matter, we know as a committee or conciliator how to go about it. Either to say, go back to court, or come to us. Number 12, failure by Kenyatta University Teaching, Research and Referral Hospital to sign a CBA. This is not refusal to negotiate. This time is refusal to sign a CBA by Kenyatta Referral Hospital. Why have you refused to sign the CBA? We want to know the details from Kenyatta. And I hope this time you will not say it is SRC. You will tell the negotiating committee that the problem is A, B, C, D, Kenyatta. So the issue is they have negotiated. Failure by Kenyatta University Teaching and Referral Hospital to sign. They have negotiated. But when it comes to signing, now you are sitting back. What has cropped up? Nane ameingilia wae. What is the problem? Can the conciliators be made to know so that we can advise on how to go about it? Now, number 13, failure by Nairobi Hospital to sign a recognition agreement. This matter of Nairobi Hospital has been taken to court, but the court referred this matter to the Conciliation Committee. Why are you refusing to sign the recognition agreement? If the union has achieved 51%, a simple majority, why? Or we want an explanation to you that this union is fake, this union has not attained a simple majority, or whatever other reasons you have, so that you'll be able to, this is to move. This is a very simple issue. Or the doctors have recruited sweepers. What could be the problem? Could that be that in the list you are given, they included the managing director of Nairobi Hospital, or they included the sweepers, or they included the watchmen? So we want from Nairobi Hospital to tell us what is the problem and why they are refusing to sign the recognition agreement. Number 14, failure by medical training universities to sign off recognition agreement and deduction and remittance of union dues, and failure to harmonize clinical allowances and provision of medical cover. Why has these universities, training universities, why have they refused to sign a recognition agreement with the union? And the union has gone to further to state that failure to sign is causing also a problem of union remittance. They want money. They do not operate on empty pocket. But it is you to tell us, to tell the negotiating committee what is the problem and how it came and how we can sort it out. Number 15, failure to honor and implement court decisions and directives. Who is this so brave that is refusing to honor and implement court decisions and directives? Let us know why, before we advise the union that any court decision, anybody failing to obey a court decision should be taken back to court for contempt of the court orders. And the regional commander of Nairobi will be ordered to bring that man in court if he is not willing to go to court freely and go and answer why he is refusing to honor, implement court decisions and directives. It's as simple as that. But if there is a reason that you can bring to the Conciliation Committee, we will listen to it, we will give it to the union. We are all human beings. They are ready to listen. If they accept, Yes. If they reject, waende huko mlimani. 16, referred of the deducted housing levy declared unconstitutional, illegal, null and void. Unfortunately, we do not want to dwell on this issue because it has not been sorted out. It is still has been taken back to court. And yesterday, I saw somebody assigning to it and agreeing to it, and then somebody else the following day is in court. I do not want to comment on this because this matter has not yet been sorted out. Number 17, conversion of all health workers on discriminatory contractual terms to permanent and pensionable terms. What does that mean? There are some workers who have been employed, given less terms than the others, discriminated against the Employment Act, Section 5. Why have they been discriminated, given different terms, despite the fact that they come from the same university, studied the same courses, through the same environment, through the same weather, and finally, when they come, you look at me, you say, this is karaoke, 5. This is Onyango, 10. And we came from the same university, and why this discrimination? And the union must tell us, who is this being discriminated? Which institution has discriminated? So that we can now look at the books and see what is going on. Number 18. Number 18, adequate funding of the health sector with a budgetary commitment to fund all signed CBAs, beginning with increasing allocation to counties to $425 billion. What does that mean? If the counties and the ministry were to get 425 billion shillings, they are saying all their problems would be over. The CBAs would be negotiated and allocated. Whatever medical and what have you would be met. So the Cabinet Secretary for Treasury is here. The Cabinet Secretary, Office of President is here. This is your baby. All they need is money to conclude the CBAs. Fine. So we cannot discuss about finance here. The owners of money, the managers of money must be capable and able to give us not less than 425 billion shillings so that this ministry, this sector is in a healthy situation. So, and that issue is for the Treasury and others, not to respond now or to respond later, but that is what, and that issue of 425 billion is also in the industrial court, and we have been asked to conciliate on it. Ours is to request that those who are in charge of the finance, they should know where to get 425 billion shares. Number 19, minimum service to be provided on account of a strike. This is This is an agreeable issue. The union has provided their position. The management also provided their position. And when we were negotiating, the management